I love Devin Booker. I love his game. He was putting up like 36 in the playoffs, like just averaging that. Like every night, just coming out. I like him when he gets in the playoffs. I think he's one of those playoff performers. Like he's only been in the playoffs a few times, but I think he's going to continue to be like that.
And Bradley Beal is running the point out there. That's what they
I think that's what they said. But it's probably going to be like more of a
not a traditional.
They guys whoever get the rebound, just bring it up.
Run it up.
Run it down.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Podcast Room. I am the one, the only Melissa Washington. Here with me today is everyone's favorite uncle, Uncle Pete, also known as Lance Heisman. To my right, we have his son, Lance Heisman Jr., better known as Buster. And all the way to my far left, we have my nephew, Trevor Neal, better known as TJ. Fellas, how we all doing? Everybody's good?
Doing good.
All right, so let's start off with a very cookie-cutter journalistic question. When did you know you love sports? When did you become a sports fan?
Wow, for me, it was always. I remember my dad had bought me a whole uniform, pads and everything. I didn't really like it, but that was our house. Our culture was just to watch sports, hear my dad argue, have his friend come over. My mom would cook for them. They drink beers or whatever and watch sports. So that's all I could remember.
Were you drinking the beers as well?
No, I didn't let me get that.
How about you, T?
I'd say I started off with playing games like 2K, Madden. Wasn't really a fan of sports. I was just playing the games, but I became a fan like Celtics while IT, King of the Fourth Quarter. That's when I really, started to bleed green. Best team in the NBA.
Come on, don't start lying.
I'm just saying, best team in the NBA, and yeah.
Took you a minute to get there though. It was for me. It's like my earliest memory probably is like seeing D Wade dunk on Anderson Varejao, and that's like when it clicked for me. And just since then, my parents tell me that like I used to be able to just recognize sports. Like before I can remember being able to, I was doing it, and so it's just always been sports for me. Yeah.
For me, I don't know if I really have a first memory. I just know like my brothers used to play street football all the time, and just being around them, seeing them play football, playing basketball in the church backyard. It was just like, all right, now I gotta watch. And I just remember watching Jordan. I fell in love with Jordan. Whipping on the Knicks all the time. Sorry, Unc. And I've just been watching ever since. I was like the 93 or 94, somewhere around there. And I've just been a fan ever since. And then just started watching football. Football, I kind of had to teach myself, like the yardage and the first downs. The calls and stuff I don't really get as much, like offsides and neutral zone. I'm like, wait, what? But it's exciting and it's entertaining. So for me, I think I want to ask you guys, football season, we're a third of the way in. Week 7, I believe, is today. And what is your most fascinating or interesting story thus far from the NFL season?
Well, most of the teams that everybody's expected to do good are doing good. So there hasn't been a surprise team like that. Of course, I'm a Jets fan, and my season got deflated on the 4th play from scrimmage. But we holding our own, though. We just beat the Eagles. We almost had Kansas City. So right now, I don't know. I'm enjoying seeing the 49ers right now. Like if they can sustain it and finally get there.
49ers are fun.
I like seeing the Dolphins right now in their offense. Just seeing them every week put up 70 on the Broncos. It's just like doing stuff we never seen before, Mike McDaniel. So seeing as far as they can take it, that's what's been exciting.
Yeah, the Dolphins are poised to break the NFL record for most points in a game. Tyreek Hill is on record on his way to breaking the record for most yards received, breaking Calvin Johnson's record. So the Dolphins are really exciting. They be putting up points.
I think they got the Broncos free passes to Miami City that night. That was horrible. But anyway, we'll keep going.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a biggest NFL fan, but I say
he's a Swiftie. He's excited about Taylor Swift.
I'm not a Swiftie.
At every game.
I'm not a Swiftie, but the recent obsession with Taylor Swift is getting a little.
It's not for us. It's not for our kind of people. It's not.
NFL page making Taylor Swift their header on Twitter. It's just they're trying to reach out to a newer spectrum of fans. That
I mean, if they're doing it from a marketing standpoint, where they're trying to bring more women to the game or whatever, that's
the
cool.
business
But
side of it is pretty genius.
The men are just like, you can't be showing that booth again. With her.
They're like, we want to see the celebration
After every replay.
Every
They don't
camera
even
span
get
is to
that no
get
more.
Taylor Swift. I'm like, come on, bro. For me, it's the Broncos. Like, I've been rooting for the Broncos since Peyton Manning got there. And we had a couple of glory years with him. And then once he retired, it was just like, what is this? And Russell Wilson getting his way out of Seattle and coming over to the Broncos. And he just took us for everything we had. Like,
Truly, you did.
the contract is crazy. We're stuck with him. And then they brought Sean Payton over. He was supposed to be like this great coach. And he was supposed to shake things up and get Russ in shape. And 1-5 is like
poverty
Just having
franchise.
players getting into it with the sideline reporters or the Jerry Judy and stuff. Like,
it's a lot in Denver. And I'm disappointed. I told my brother I'm off them. Like, I'm just rooting for everybody now. I'm just an NFL fan right now.
that's what I've been thinking of too. Because I'm a Patriots fan, so now things going downhill. So I'm like, I need a secondary team. Because it's like we start the game and the first quarter be down 21-0. I'm like, I can't even enjoy my Sunday no more. It's like,
I believe in my Jets. I've been. That's what Stephon said. Stephon said, "You are truly a fan." I'm like, "Yo, you got to stick with your team," and we have suffered.
How do you do that though? As a fan of a team, multiple teams actually, because you're a Knicks fan.
I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Mets fan.
Downhill.
Mets is like, how do you endure it year after year? You don't get tired?
No, because you're a fan. You're a fan. I sat there and watched my dad root for these teams, and I just, you have to believe you can't jump ship, because truth of the matter is, when you have a team, you may start rooting for another team, but you still, like, I've seen people low-key be Knicks fans. And they go, nah. But they it's your home team. Like, you grew up watching them play. So I think that instead of me just kind of check on them and act like I got another team, I'm sticking with my team. Eventually, we're going to get something. I'm going to a parade. Somebody.
Hopefully.
Do you think Dolan is kind of more of a businessman? Like, you think he cares more about the money than the actual basketball part of it?
Absolutely. He's not a Mark Cuban or someone like that that's really passionate about the game. I think he's a businessman that saw a chance to win. He's not even as good as what's his name that bought the Clippers?
Steve
Ballmer.
Yeah, at least
Microsoft
Ballmer is
man.
there going crazy, like having fun with it. Like, Dolan is a businessman and big bread. So he doesn't care about the way he's looked at as in the culture. He really thought Phil Jackson was going to bail him out.
Yeah,
And
I don't think he's
horrible.
incentivized to do anything because it's MSG. It's the New York Knicks. We're going to talk about them regardless if they're winning, if they're losing. He doesn't really seem that incentivized to put winning pieces there and try to.
They're top 5 every year in Forbes.
Yeah.
So he's not losing any money. And
Yeah.
when people start calling for him to sell a team, he probably just laughs like, they got to be kidding.
And any news for him is just like good news. Yeah, it's going to make me some money.
But I wish he wasn't, because I think it has chased guys away from coming to play here. Like, it was New York is the place you want to play, but they just don't want to be involved in that mess. So now, and then with marketing changing too, it was a time when LeBron was going to come to New York, and the whole thing was about how big they were going to market him. But now OKC, Cleveland, anywhere you get marketed, so it's no big deal about saying, hey, you need to go there to be marketed. And the internet has opened it up that whatever city you're in, you're big. So,
were you excited about the Donovan news trying to come to the Knicks?
I was. I didn't hold my breath on it, but I was. My thing would have been him and Jalen Brunson in the backcourt. I thought they would have got bullied a lot of nights. Although, I mean, Donovan Mitchell gets his own points. I'd really like to see us offload Julius Randle. I think we could do something with that. But anyway, that's
Tell us your Julius Randle hate. You never really bought into
because
Juice train.
Stephon was the biggest Laker fan. So when I used to watch him because we used to sit and watch the Laker games, and he was just erratic and out of control. So they bought him. He kind of got a little under control. Now the biggest thing with me is that he forces it, and it's like Tom Thibodeau acts like we got to keep him in because he is quote unquote a starter. And my thing is, when he's not happy, I think they could have made Obi a little bit better. I think they could have got him out there and just really say, yo, you want this spot? Seriously, you want this spot? You got to go out there and get it and give him a chance to do it. But they never did. But then Thibodeau is a Pat Riley era, those type of three-man rotation. I like Tibbs. I don't think he plays his bench. Like I was so glad to see Evan Fournier in the game in a preseason game. That was a shame.
He was
lighting them up. I'm like, yo, let this man play. Yeah. He is old school. So I believe in him. I like his defensive scheme. I like him as a person. I like that he don't never be happy. They could be up by 20 points and he never smiles. So I like that part about him. But I'm like, play your bench because you wear your players down. Right. That 8-man rotation, they be tired. Yeah. Sometimes they really be tired. So.
All right, so since we're here, NBA is starting. By the time you guys see this episode, it would have been night one already. What are you guys looking forward to in this NBA season?
There's been a lot of moves. I don't think Milwaukee's gonna be where people project them to be.
That's hate.
It's not hate. I don't have them winning.
Scared. Just say y'all scared.
Scared of what?
As a Celtics fan, just say we're scared.
We don't have nothing to be scared of. We stopped Giannis every year. We don't got. It's no.
It's not another team you be losing to every year.
Y'all gave up your heart and soul when y'all gave up
Marcus Smart,
and that kid
and Rob Williams.
Y'all gave up your heart and soul. Porzingis does not rebound. It's sometimes that the ball comes to him and scare him. He be like, oh, shoot.
I have faith.
He's not a rebounder. I mean, I'm not hating on your team.
I have faith we'll get Marcus back, before the season's over. But,
what you got in him? You can't wait. They not let go of Marcus.
You don't want to play for Memphis? You don't want to play for Memphis? Ja Morant, being Ja Morant.
He's going to be the man for those 25 games.
Him and Derrick Rose. You about to come back.
Please.
D Rose down there, too, yeah. And they got somebody else. Who else did they get?
I don't know.
But they just lost. Like while we was in church, they lost Steven Adams. He's out for the season.
Yeah, he just I think a ligament something. Mm-hmm.
And he was already once they had him last year, they was killing him. Then he went out, and it was just never the same. And now they still don't got him.
Need that.
They need him. Yeah, they need that center.
Because Jaren Jackson, you saw it on Team USA. He don't rebound. He be chasing blocks too many times. Then he get in foul trouble and stuff. And if he goes, no Steven Adams. Brandon Clark is out for him with an Achilles thing. So that's something I'm interested in seeing where the Grizzlies stand through the first 25 games, and if Ja can come back and be that all-star, be that superstar. Really, that's what they need from him.
They should be able to hold it afloat. But while we're in the South, the two South Beach people here, what y'all see for y'all Heat?
Trash.
It's
finals
tough.
Or nothing.
Nah.
But it's tough to project because I don't even care about the regular season really when it comes to us. At this point, I know Jimmy Butler gonna coast. We have our role players, but then we all turn it up in the playoffs. So that's what it get us to the playoffs, and then I think we can go toe to toe with anybody. We saw last year. We went toe to toe with the 1 seed, went with the 2 seed.
Giannis kind of opened the door for y'all when he got hurt though.
And then he came back and he still lost.
He couldn't come back. He was trying. He was trying.
Before.
He was trying. I've always called for Spo to go, and y'all have been like, "Yo, we not get rid of Spo."
Been a Spo.
But listen, he did. I think he did work his way out. I don't know. I guess it felt like they might need a change. They might need to hear another voice, and then y'all went to the finals. So I'm like, all right, let me stop saying anything.
Everybody thought it was the bubble, but we came back. We went to the finals. We got out of there real fast, but we was there.
Nah, absolutely. I had no prediction. Whoever the gambler that bet on y'all is somewhere on the beach right now. He's like, I told y'all he was good. So no, I didn't think that that was going to happen. But we got to see what it. Y'all lost a few pieces.
Yeah, some key pieces.
Gabe Vincent, Max Strus.
Yeah, and they kept it afloat. I don't think enough is said for role players sometimes that keep teams afloat. Like, it's definitely a superstar-driven league, but I think sometimes bring back the Dennis Rodmans and the people that were the trash players. That's why I feel like the Celtics might be in a little trouble, because Marcus Smart, if it's nothing but get in the argument, get in the ref's face, who they going to have that's going to do that right now? Jason Tatum is not that guy, and Jaylen Brown, he's not that guy. So you would that kind of stuff to me is as important as having a superstar on the team. The role players do not get enough. When you got especially a trash can guy that just that's what Josh Hart came in and did for the Knicks. He just came in and was that guy that was just mixing it up and being a little bit everywhere they needed to go. So I think those guys don't get the proper due that they should.
So what do you guys think about like big 2, big 3s?
I mean,
I think
you've seen it work before. It's just it's not a part of every team system. Like,
I mean, the last time
Warriors.
like it really worked is when the Warriors were stacking the deck. Because now since then you've had the Nets try to come together, and it didn't work.
They had their drama.
And now
They only play like 16 games.
something like that, which is
Like 4
insane.
years.
Yeah.
And
it's
James
crazy.
Harden forced his way out. Kyrie, they all forced their way out.
Pretty much.
And now they're gone. But now I don't really believe in the Suns to get it done.
Me either.
Nah, they lost.
I think they got-
lost everything.
Yeah,
They have no
like
bench.
what people
Yeah.
saying with the role players.
They have no bench. I was looking at their team the other night, and I said to Lance, I said, they have no bench. If
Nobody.
Bradley Beal and them are not on that night,
Yeah.
it's gonna be kind of crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought Golden State set a blueprint for everybody to say you don't have to go out and grab all these superstars and stack, because I remember
first
when
time.
Steph and them came in. And
Right,
Steph
the
was
first
hurt for
time.
like his
Yeah.
first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
He didn't play a full
Yeah.
season at all. And then they got Clay, and they came in and they built together. So teams, to me, should be patient when they start bringing in these superstars, especially the ones that are kind of past their time. Like people like James Harden and them, they are past their time. Like, dude, like to go out and pay those guys, and they deserve the money. Like, if you're going to pay anybody, if you're going to pay these young guys money, they deserve the money. But they just, like you said, they're going to suck the life out your team now.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing else. You can't do no other moves. They divas. They don't want to show up. They demanding trades. Like,
That's the hardest thing about this whole James Harden situation, because the Clippers don't want to give up none. Like, why would
Yeah,
they now?
yeah.
Because if he say, I don't want to be here, if Kawhi and them is hurt,
He's already done
and
it
stuff,
twice. Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys think about load management and the new rules with load management?
They trying to plot on the Clippers. Set up
Yeah.
Kawhi, PG.
Yeah.
That's their.
They don't like to hear it though. They asked Kawhi and PG about him. They said that they don't like being known as like the face of load management. But that's the reality of the situation, is that when Kawhi came to the Clippers, they were the load management. And now this all because of them, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think as much as I like the change, I think there's the GMs, the coaches, they're gonna find loopholes around it.
Oh, of course.
Something in the
Of
wording,
course.
If somebody knee sprain, how you
Yeah,
verify that?
exactly.
How do you know for sure?
Exactly. Put a little nigga
There's
something
something
in the
linked
injury
into the
report.
locker room.
Yeah.
like, I need
Yeah.
to see that.
Yeah, I think Kawhi tried to downplay that whole load
he's
management
like-
thing, but he was definitely the face of that.
Yeah.
He took advantage of it when he was in San Antonio. It was like, nothing's wrong with this guy. He just won't come back. Like, and he's just been doing it for like the past 5 years. And I mean, I get it on both sides. Like, the players don't want to go out there and risk, their health and their endurance if they have like a little minor injury. But then at the same time, you have fans who pay money to come and see, superstars, and it's like, I paid my money to come see LeBron. Like, I don't want to see you on the
LeBron was
bench
still-
dancing.
Nah, you don't got to worry about
Like,
LeBron. LeBron gonna be there.
Yeah,
At 40
but-
years old, though, he could still pack an arena. I'm
Yeah.
sure everywhere he
Yeah.
goes, people buy tickets for that night. So, yeah, you do want to. So, it's kind of 50-50. I understand what the NBA was doing, too, because probably even networks have said to them, like, our ratings were horrible because they already knew LeBron
Yeah.
wasn't playing, AD wasn't
Yeah.
playing like that. So, it's like, I'm not turning this on to watch
The Hornets.
the Hornets, somebody like that. What's the kid on the Lakers? That
Austin?
Austin. They like, I'm not turning this on to watch Austin Reeves. So it goes both ways. It goes both ways as far as the load management.
All right, speaking of, what do you guys think about new media, as Draymond Green likes to call it, with, players kind of taking their narratives and their stories into their own hands? A lot of them do podcasts. A lot of them have their own YouTube shows. For me, I know me and Unk making us feel real old right now. When I was you guys' age, all of my sports news came from SportsCenter or the Daily News. You go to the back of the paper and you read about sports in the back of the paper. But I'm sure you guys don't watch SportsCenter, right?
No, I can't remember the last time.
Yeah.
If the ESPN game end, we'll leave the TV on and then I'll hear it in the background. That's about
Yeah.
it though.
But we used to wait for Saturday morning inside stuff like that.
Inside
used to give,
stuff,
with
yeah.
Amar Rashad and stuff. I think it's great. I think that I can't even imagine people like Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, people like that were the largest life on the planet with no social media,
Yeah.
having just. Like Tom Holland, he posts a picture. Honestly, he could post a picture of him making a peanut butter sandwich and he would get 5 million likes on his picture. So when you get a chance now to
crazy.
see your celebrities up close, and now for the sports guys, there's stories that's coming out that we're enjoying hearing. What's his name? That's real funny.
Jeff T.
Jeff T.
Jeff T, yeah.
Jeff T be
funny, and
spilling
they be
it.
telling- he's spilling all the tea. He's like, yo, whatever. So I think that's a good way, as long as they like keeping the podcast true and stuff. I think it's a good way to hear like the behind the scenes of it. And then as far as everybody giving their opinion, that's always going to be.
Yeah.
That's always going to be, it's just like even with cooking now, different celebrity chefs are going around tasting people food and they getting thrown out of restaurants. They like, yo, do not come in here. One man bought this guy a pie outside. It was like, here you go, pizza pie. Don't come in my restaurant. He's like,
Wow.
don't, because their word is starting to take on so much effect. So, so now if you have a podcast and these guys, some of them, Steven Jackson and what's his name? Matt Barnes in them, like they are past the NBA, but they're respected. So now their word still carries, and they can get some real celebrities on to talk about some real stuff.
Yeah. And some players that are not really, comfortable with sitting with your traditional media journalist type of people. They'll go kick it with them because they're former players and they understand the game and they kind of share that same mindset. You guys, how do you guys consume sports news now? Is it just like TikToks and Reels?
TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But my thing with it is I love seeing all the different perspectives from the players, Draymond Green, because he gets real insightful of it. JJ Redick will bring on the NBA players. I just don't think everybody need a podcast. Because it's like, I saw the other day, one of the Heat's G League guys on a two-way just got it, hasn't played an NBA minute yet. He got a podcast. I'm like, why do you got a podcast?
Like, give me a mic. I got something to say.
But when it hits and you got a player that knows what they're talking about, knows how, like Paul George, I love his podcast.
Yeah.
The way he talks with the players and the stories he gets out of the guys. Like when you get a player that really does have an engaging personality, I think it's great. And I prefer it like over watching the ESPN, watching like this is debate. That's what it is on First Take. With Shannon Sharp and them, they just debate, and it's like you get tired of that after a certain point.
Yeah, nah, you definitely do. But now, so let me ask you guys, what do you think about the journalists that are out there, the Stephen A. Smiths, the guys that that are reporting, and again, they're looking at their grip be lost because of these podcasts and stuff. What do y'all think of? Like, is his word the gospel truth?
I mean, I think we're seeing it's not like the last thing that happened with the Lonzo Ball thing. Stephen A. will say, "Oh, my source said this," and then just right away, it's gonna be like, "That's not true," and stuff. And I think people are starting to put less stock into some of the older reporters. Right now it's being taken over by Woj and Sham. It's like those powerhouses.
Yeah, no, Woj can, Woj can tell us anything. We gonna believe that.
Woj bomb, Sham's free agency, go crazy.
Yeah.
And that's that. It's kind of good because, like you said, if everybody has a podcast and everybody has a view, then it starts to get lost. I think you should have reputable people that should be able to talk. You have a Charles Barkley sometime that people that don't really watch him kind of just talk like, oh, Charles Barkley tells it like it is. We watch him enough to know it's just his opinion. Like he's very opinionated and he has stuff to say. It's not just what he has to say. That's why I love watching them, because they don't all agree. They definitely don't all agree, like him and Shaq, and they make it fun, but they don't all agree, because sometimes Barkley talks like this is the way it is, and I'm like, that's just not the way it is. So the fun comes in when Shaq or when Kenny and them start disagreeing with him, and that's just like the greatest thing. I think that kind of set it up for podcasts, because the four of them, with Ernie being the moderator, or the three of them, that kind of set it up for people to say, oh, we could do that online. Because that's basically what they started on Thursday nights, but with the humor and everything like that. So,
do you guys think that these journalists or traditional type of figureheads, do you think they should be politically correct, or do you think they should just like tell it like it is, kind of like Barkley does? Because we saw an issue with Shannon Sharp and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek was like, yeah, he said, I catch with my body, I don't catch with my hands. It was like, kind of do. Like he's not lying, you know what I mean? But a lot of these players is like, you can't say, I ain't like your shoes, you know what I mean? And they just like take offense to it. So what do you think that what position you think that puts people like Barkley and Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp, these kind of like traditional media heads? What kind of position that puts them in? And do you think that they should, just be fair, or should they just tell it like it is?
I think they should, especially Stephen A. Like, a lot of people like him, but then sometimes they're like, he's doing too much.
Yeah.
A lot of people like Barkley. I love Barkley.
I love Barkley.
But sometimes it's like you're doing too much, and I guess it's just a matter of just feeling like what I say kind of is, again, what goes, but that's not how it goes. So I think they need to revamp what they do, and I think they need to be cool, because they probably could branch off and do their own thing. And even with Stephen A., sometimes even on his podcast, just the issues he gets into is just, to me, it's a bit much. You're a sports guy.
Yeah.
Everybody has an opinion. It doesn't matter
Right.
if you do sports or whatever. But I think you carry that, my word is bond type thing too much. So I think they should stay in the lane that they're in, and every blue moon they'll touch into different stuff, because listen, influence is very key right now.
Yeah.
Whether it's your political affiliation or whatever, people are like, I don't know, let me see what so and so is saying. Or, I don't know. It's like you guys said, y'all don't watch the news. So right now, Shaq can start talking about what's going on in Israel, and we'll bring up something about Israel, and Buster, you go, oh, Shaq said that they're not doing that. Yeah. Don't know if Shaq is right or not. You like, I don't watch political stuff, so if Shaq said it, I'm going to go with what Shaq said. Yeah. So I think it's dangerous that they feel like there's got to be a responsibility and accountability, and that's what they're doing with Stephen A.
Yeah.
They're really, certain things they're calling him on the carpet on, and they're like, yo, the whole thing with him and Marcellus Wiley, that's his name. Yeah, with him saying that you started delving into stuff that Max Kellerman, who was just this really bright dude, was just checking you on. Like,
right.
That's not right. That's not. It's like our children kind of going, Dad, Mom, that ain't what happened, and you ready to tell them to shut up, because it's like, yo, I'm talking. I got the floor.
Where do you guys stand on the players having a gripe with being criticized by non-players, non-former players? Like, do you feel like you have to have played the game in order to criticize? Like, for me, Shannon Sharp was one of the greatest tight ends in the game. So if he's saying you catch with your body and not with your hands, I would find some merit in that, because he played. So if I was Tyreek, I would kind of take that as like, a little pointer or something. But a lot of people take issue with maybe like a Stephen A. saying something about LeBron's game, because you never played professional basketball. True. So what could you say about my game? How do you guys land on that?
Well, for like the bigger journalists, I think just like athletes overall, like when you get to that professional level, you just gotta be able to tune it out.
Yeah.
Like when you open yourself up and do a public thing like that, we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
The people in the media are gonna talk about it that they haven't played.
Yeah.
But just go ahead and play your game. Like, no, that's not. You have your coaches. You have other athletes. That's where now you learn from and you take the criticism from. But just as a professional, like I made a couple designs of Kevin Durant and I tagged him in, and he saw both of them. Like, he just always online, always looking for somebody to argue with. Like, you one of the greatest players of all time. Yeah. It doesn't matter what we say on Twitter or what we say on Instagram. Like as a professional, you got to be able to tune that out. I think we should be able to talk about it, and just the players, it shouldn't matter to them.
Just play your game.
It's definitely like a pride and ego thing. Like,
yeah, definitely.
The bigger your following gets, the more like, oh, I'm him. Like, it's like what he got to say don't really matter to me, because I know what I can do.
Yeah.
But like, it's okay to let people help you, and like especially people who have like played in, like Shannon Sharp telling Tyreek Hill, it's okay. Like, that's a pointer. Like, if I were to say that to Tyreek Hill, I can understand him. Like, what does he know?
Who you?
But it's okay to take advice and be willing to learn more, and like just to be better.
Yeah.
But it's the viewers though, like, because people watch Stephen A. They watch Skip Bayless and them. They watch what is being said. And yes, there's a lot of your generation that's consuming it from online, but there are a lot of older people that still watch First Take, and they still want to see Undisputed. So they do. And I guess guys like Durant that may have thin skin are just like, yo, I don't appreciate you. Again, like you said, you never played the game and you got all of this to say about my game. I could say one name, Kwame Brown, and everybody starts laughing because Stephen A. has taken him apart. Yeah. I watched them play just like everybody else watched them play, and I think I don't know if y'all follow Ethan Thomas that used to He used to play NBA ball, but he talks a lot, and he just doesn't understand why Stephen A. goes after this kid like he does. Like, I get it. We all get it. He's not the only one that got overpaid. We can start naming names. What's his name? Eddie Curry. We could just go to names
Your
of people.
team is the one that's
they
the one that do
a
it.
few people. We paid it. So it's a lot of people you could go at. And he just makes it his business to make Kwame Brown. And he says Kwame.
Yeah.
So
He
just
put
laugh
sauce
at it.
on it,
Like,
yeah.
he put sauce on it.
Yeah.
So I think, to answer your question, I think that they should tone it down just a little bit. They should tone it down a little bit. And sometimes, sadly, it's our broadcasters amongst our culture that do that. Some of the other broadcasters, they don't necessarily go at them like that.
Yeah. You guys like Pat McAfee?
I think he's cool. I saw he came over in the WWE and stuff, and that was when I first started seeing him. I was like, yeah, all right.
All right, so NBA predictions. Night one. Who you guys have for Rookie of the Year, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year?
I came up with some
Standout sleepers.
We're all agreeing
It's either
on
Wembanyama or Chet.
That's what
I was about to say,
Yeah,
Chet. I forgot
Chet.
that Chet didn't play last
Chet.
season. Yeah.
I had Chet before the preseason started, and then now I seen Wemby. It's like, I don't know, man.
I saw him the other night, and
he played the Warriors.
because at first I was like, okay, I got to see something this kid do. But
Nobody
he's
believed
starting
him.
to warm up now. And
When he did the nutmeg, I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, he gonna be dangerous. He gonna be dangerous."
I would give him the edge for Rookie of the Year just because most Rookie of the Years go to, if there's almost a tie, it's going to go to who the projected Rookie of the Year is. So definitely for that. What else? Defensive player?
Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, Coach of the
Should we
Year,
all start out with one award? Like, say, start with MVP and kind of work our way down.
MVP.
Jason Tatum, obviously.
I don't want to say this now. Like, I almost want to change.
Look. That's my biased and my unbiased. I'd say Jokic.
Okay.
That's my thing. Like, I don't want to say it because TJ here now. I had Jason Tatum too. I
No
think.
way.
You can say it. I'm not.
Why would you have Jason Tatum?
I'm trying to think about
open up
who-
to new things.
Like, who could realistically get it? And I just think, like, with Drew Holiday's not taking shots from him.
Yeah.
I think Jason Tatum now.
Jaylen Brown is though.
Bum. He got paid.
That's what I'm worried about. Now that he got paid, he
I'm
might
worried.
start.
300 mil with
He
no
got
left
paid.
hand.
He gonna be chucking.
I don't know.
Yeah, he got to earn that
Yeah,
money.
he gonna say I gotta earn
He
it.
got to earn that
Yeah.
money. But then well, nobody's going to take his contract. He's going to be in Boston
Yeah,
for a minute.
he gonna be there.
I'd like to see Luka get it. I think
thought I
that
had
Luka.
Luka.
I think Luka has done what Jokic has done. Just Jokic took his
on
team a little bit further. And some people have a problem with these guys that are not Americans or whatever getting the MVP. And I'm like, yo, then
been-
y'all guys got to step up,
Yeah,
like,
they've had,
because
like, the last
the
8.
thing about it, both of them, Joker and Luka, neither one of them athletic.
At all.
Like, to watch them play,
Joker
like,
don't even
Joker
care
don't
about
even-
basketball.
Basketball is his side job. He just want to race
He
horses.
don't even care about
for real.
basketball.
And to watch them play, though, because I think that we have downplayed basketball IQ. And that is one of the things that I loved about LeBron James. Now,
Yeah.
Mike, I don't get into the whole whether who's better or who's not, because Mike changed not only the game, he changed the culture. But when it comes to basketball IQ, I think that LeBron is one of the smartest players to ever play.
Yeah, I can't remember who said it, but they were like AAU is ruining that for like American basketball players.
You got anybody coaching AAU
Everything-
now.
yeah.
We could form a
got
team now
YouTubers,
with the kids in the church.
everything is
like
about
chucking
going
up
viral.
shots. Yeah, the Steph Curry effect when they just running up, chucking up shots at the half court. Nobody's like cutting backdoor passes, screens, nothing. It's just like,
And that's what it
AAU
is for
ruining
international
it.
players. They have
Yeah,
academies. They build them up.
Exactly.
And you'll be a professional at
Exactly.
16 when you
Yeah.
turn 18. Now you've been a professional for 2 years.
And it's evident. It's
Know
been
everything.
evident. The Joker winning MVP, winning Finals MVP, winning the championship.
Yeah.
Giannis killing, like Embiid, like it's just evident. My MVP was Luka. I would say Luka, and I think Braun got one in him.
I mean,
think Braun got one in
If
him.
you go by stats, and I know his stats haven't met up to his team's expectations, but for 40 years old, and this man hovers around a triple double every year, I think that's I think that's really big. And I guess people say, "Oh, you just on LeBron." I'm not. But everybody's waiting every year for him to break down, and he hasn't. He hasn't. This man has not broke down. And if he could get some shooters around him for God and country, they would win the championship.
That's the success.
He needs to bring Kyle Korver back.
Yeah.
Somebody that'll knock down the
That's the
three.
thing.
Because the man will get you the ball in your sweet spot.
Yeah.
Like,
He got shooters. They just need to be more consistent.
It's like once they get to the Lakers, they put the
Russell.
jersey on,
Yeah.
and the powers go away like the Monstars. It's like,
Yeah. So again, the whole superstar effect, But if they come in and they hold it down, though, I agree that he does have and a championship, but that's another book chapter.
They gotta stay healthy too. AD gotta stay healthy. They need AD.
my thing though with Luka and stuff, I don't know if I believe in the Mavericks as a team. Like I think they'll make the playoffs, but they'll probably be a playing team
like a second round
and stuff.
team.
I don't know if I
Second
believe
round
like in their defense like that. Kyrie is just a question mark all season. At any
That's been
point,
a thing
like
for the Mavericks. Like they'll play well all season, and then they can't get to the conference finals or nothing. It's just like.
But they
what
haven't
happened to
made
all of
any
that?
other major moves either. They pretty well got the same. Tim Hardaway Jr. is still playing on it. Like they have basically the same roster. They haven't really made any moves. And to put Luka there, eventually he's gonna, as much as Mark Cuban takes care of them, he's gonna eventually ask for a trade too.
Yeah.
He's like, give me somebody to play with. And I don't think it's a bad thing. You don't have to necessarily load up with he shouldn't ask to go to Phoenix. But if he wanted to play with some other players, some younger players that's ready to run and ready to play with him, I don't think that's a bad thing.
OKC.
OKC, I'm ready for OKC to make that trade. They got all those picks. I think they got like 37 through 2030.
Yeah,
so now it's just I know like next person to ask for a trade. I think Embiid could ask for a trade. I think that could be somebody. I can do it, Luka, but it'd be weird with Luka and Shea, I think. But somebody's gonna ask out, and they're gonna be right there, ready to make the trade.
Buckets. Shea be getting buckets. Coach of the year, I got Pop. I got Pop.
They're gonna get. They would give it to him. They would give it to him because he came in and did that kid. Who got it last year?
I don't remember.
Was it?
Last year.
I don't want to say it was Monty.
It was Mike Brown in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That somebody like that took a team and really turned them around. So we see what Monty do in Detroit.
They have
Detroit
nobody in Detroit.
They got some young talent. We see if they can.
I'm excited to watch them. I think they're gonna be fun to watch though.
I'm excited about the Blazers with Chauncey Billups and Dame. The whole story with Dame out the door. It's like I got some young players. Scoot.
He got some. Yeah.
And Fernie. Like I'm excited to see what they do.
He picked up. I agree with TJ. I can't just give Milwaukee the championship yet. It's gonna be some nights though. It's gonna be crazy up there. It's gonna be crazy up there because Dame just brings that type of energy. So if he comes as himself, if he stays healthy, and Giannis is ready to play any night. So Chris Middleton.
Not worry about Chris. Inconsistent Chris.
But I think it's easier for him now because now like his role is simplified.
Exactly.
He don't gotta. He won't be taxed because he had some injury stuff. So I think that kind of affected him the last couple years.
Who's gonna be running their point?
Dame.
Dame is running their point. Dame and Steph, I don't look at as point guards. They just short two guys. So anyway,
It's not bad.
Because when you have those kind of players, you need somebody that will anchor the teams. So as old as Chris Paul is, the Golden State Warriors have a good chance because he is another one that's going to get you the ball.
Yeah.
Or if they leave him open, he'll punish them from the 3-point line. Yeah. So
it's just if he holds up. That's what happened last year. He got hurt in the playoffs, and they
don't play fast. They don't play fast in Golden State. So
they move around. They move the ball around.
They move a lot.
I mean, it depends on if he's like after he passes the ball, is he gonna stand there? Is he gonna be moving?
Exactly. You got to keep moving.
That's how they run.
You got to keep moving.
So coach of the year, I don't know. I can't say because it really would see, especially with these new faces in new places. We'd have to see. For me, I don't know if y'all have.
I think it's going to be something like last year. You have your team that kind of comes up out of nowhere and shocks everybody. I think I'm high on the Pacers personally. I think with Tyrese, they got Obi Toppin. I think he is really going to blossom this year. I like what they drafted, Jarris Walker and Miles Turner. I think now they just kind of fit, and they was good. They were like the 4th seed last year before Tyrese got hurt, and he's their engine. I think if he's healthy throughout the year, that they're going to jump up. I think Rick Carlisle then could get that coach of the year for them.
Okay. You got one, T? Coach of the year?
Oh, I guess what's his name for the Celtics? Everybody laughed at the Celtics.
Oh, my God.
Nah, I don't have an answer for Coach yet. I just gotta see how the season works out.
All right. Defensive player?
I had Anthony Davis. I think.
I'll go with Drew. I like Drew.
I don't know. They don't really give it to guards like
They
that.
don't.
And when they
Marcus
did, I don't
Smart
think
got
they
it.
forced it to him. He didn't deserve that.
Marcus Smart got
They didn't
that.
force anything.
They didn't try to make the guards
He was
happy. Like, here you
defensive
go.
Player of the year.
But I think this is the year I think Anthony Davis could be healthier for the Lakers. I think they got more depth, so it won't be
Yeah.
as much on him. Where now he has that load on him. So I think now he'll be able to play
hope
more.
he plays a
And when he
lot.
does, I think he was
At
crazy
least
last year when he
60.
played.
Give us,
Yeah,
give
at
us a
least
little bit
60.
of New Orleans, Anthony. 'cause
Yeah.
he was
That's what everybody been wanting, just for him to take that torch and just be the guy finally.
He was
I think this could be that
crushing
year.
It'd be cool if he did. It would be cool if he did, and not just the hype of the Lakers, but again, he's just an amazing player, and you hate to see him go somewhere and get paired up with somebody, and now it's like, yo, you everybody is they putting up memes about how you get hurt and everything. I'm like,
Day-to-day Davis.
like, yeah, that is bad.
You got one?
Bad.
T?
I say like AD, Giannis maybe.
I can see Giannis.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are going to be good defensively
the
as a
Bucks are-
whole.
yeah, I
So
think the
it
Bucks
usually
are-
goes to somebody on a
See,
top
like,
defensive team.
Wemby
The
might win
Cavs.
Wemby could
Wemby could sneak it in.
blocking them shots. He was
He
blocking
is.
threes.
He be
He's
flying, his long, and he gets out there.
And he got the steal too. Look like just I can't even stretch my arms the way he was like.
Wingspan,
It was crazy. Like
Wingspan is
But-
crazy.
And the reason why he might win it is because they don't have any Shaqs in the league. His worst night might be against Joel Embiid.
everybody struggled
Yes.
against Embiid. That's not
Yeah.
even something to
Yeah.
judge him
But
on.
like it used to be years ago, Shaq would have definitely called him barbecue chicken.
Barbecue
'cause
chicken
he
alert.
would
Barbecue
have
chicken
that
alert.
boy down. He'd have wore that kid out so bad down there. But there's nobody playing back to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
You know, speaking of which, I'm just a shout out for what's his name, Bryce James. I think he plays an old man game.
Oh, yeah.
I think if they could keep on going with that. And what do y'all think
Mm-hmm.
about the NBA kids that are coming up?
I think I personally believe Bryce is gonna be.
Yeah,
the
I've said
better
that
one.
before. Yeah,
It's
the
usually
Bryce
the
is-
younger brother that gets better. You see it with
Like
LaMelo and Lonzo and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And that's not to take away from Bronny. He could
Yeah.
play. But I like Bryce game.
Yeah, I like Bryce.
I like his game. I could sit and watch his highlights all night. I think Kyan Anthony is good. I think I'm scared it's going to go to his head early, though. He nice, though. He plays just like his father.
He does.
And I remember when Melo used to train him in the gym how to get his own space and clear. I watch him play. He does, but he just has this air. I could be wrong. Hopefully it won't.
Yeah, I
because
hope not.
He would be the one that everybody's going to make
Yeah.
sure that they give a long night
Yeah.
for what he does. But who's the Boozer boys?
Yeah, both of those Boozer twins
Twins.
are projected like top 5 in their classes. It's like crazy. But I think that's what we was talking about with the AAU, and now like the players coming up kind of aren't growing like how they should. But you have the kids who are NBA players' sons who are learning the right things because they're around the game. They're learning straight from an NBA player versus just a coach down the street who kind of just did it because he's free outside.
They have that advantage.
So.
Yeah.
It definitely worked for Steph. Being in
worked
the
for
gym,
Steph.
it definitely worked for him. And this is a kid that had to earn his way. I give him a hard time. I think he celebrates too much, but he earned.
Come
He worked.
on,
He
with a shot like
celebrates
that.
too much. There's a few shots. The 3-bang one that Mike Breen did.
2016.
That was definitely a celebrating moment. But they be celebrating too much.
Come on,
it's like-
you sound like
it's
the
like-
old
yeah.
uncle. Get off my line.
I'm like, yo, what are y'all dancing and celebrating for? Y'all are professionals. Come on, y'all are the Warriors.
Nah, celebrate. Make your shots and you celebrate. Yeah,
That's
you
what
eat
Put it
that.
up from
That's what I
40s.
love to see. That's the best part. Even the
Yeah.
NFL, they don't let them
Yeah.
celebrate nothing. I'm like,
Exactly.
come on,
I
bro.
hate it. Let me get that. All right, so y'all got any predictions, finals?
I got the
Season
Bucks.
has not started. Only one night, so it's just basically like a guess.
Now I know y'all ain't gonna like this, but them Celtics might
Come
represent
on.
the East. They might represent the East because they're a well-oiled machine. And yes, they did give up their heart and soul, but they still got a bench. They still at least have some players on the bench that will come off.
Jalen ain't got no left.
They gotta work on that. Otherwise,
If Jalen
whoever
get
he
a left
plays-
halfway through the season,
You don't just develop skills halfway through like that.
Yeah, he ain't got it.
praying
He
on
ain't got
it.
it.
Ring us though.
So I would say Boston in the East, and then the West. I don't know. Golden State could very well be there. they're very crafty, and adding Chris Paul was only a plus to me. Was only a plus.
I don't know. I got the Bucks coming out. That's just the logical thing for me. I think like they still got most of the team, and they won the championship. Giannis, Brooke Lopez, Chris Middleton, they've been there and they've got the job done. And Dame is like one of the greatest playoff performers ever. So I think once he gets there, and once they get there as a team, I think they're gonna come out the East. And I think the Nuggets. It's just the I know it's like the champions already, but it's hard to say with the other West teams. You know, a lot of them made moves, so we don't know how they're gonna perform yet. But the Nuggets, we know that they're gonna get the job done. So I believe in them coming out the West.
I got the Lakers and the Bucks.
Let's go.
That was supposed to be like what 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. I got the Lakers and the Bucks. I think AD stays healthy enough to make it there. I think the Nuggets fall off a little bit. The championship hangover, I think, gets them a little bit. I don't see them getting out the second round, actually. Hot take. But yeah, I got the Lakers and the Bucks.
So would it be the Suns and the Lakers, you think, in the conference finals or something like that?
I don't believe in the Suns.
I'd say it.
Yeah, the Suns.
The Suns gave up everything. Now, if KD get hurt with a leg injury, they can't rely on Bradley Beal and Devin
Bradley
Booker.
Beal and Devin Booker.
I love Devin Booker. I love his game. He was putting up like 36 in the playoffs, like just averaging that. Like every night, just coming out. I like him when he gets in the playoffs. I think he's one of those playoff performers. Like he's only been in the playoffs a few times, but I think he's going to continue to be like that.
And Bradley Beal is running the point out there. That's what they
I
were
think that's what
projecting.
they said. But it's probably going to be like more of a
Not a traditional.
they probably whoever get the rebound, just bring it up.
Run it
Yeah,
up.
run it down.
Not gonna be good.
Yeah.
Because Chris Paul anchored them. So I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in the Suns. Again,
me either.
that whole big three thing.
Yeah, I don't see it.
So other than the Celtics, who you see coming out in the West?
I say for the East, I say Celtics, Bucks. Maybe the Heat, they might slip in, might luckily pull off another fluke run.
Wow, that's hate.
How many flukes can you do
Exactly.
before it stops being a fluke, though?
Nah, you can never run out of flukes. But out the West, I say Nuggets, Lakers.
Come on my side, Lakers.
I don't know. I don't have a third team. I mean, the Warriors could definitely make a push, but they go up against they're undersized. Their tallest player, I think, is 6'9". Modern centers are 7 feet. They go up against 80. Yeah. Who stop him? Draymond? Yeah. Old Draymond?
He can't do it. He already proved he can't do it.
I mean, I think there's more teams though out the West. Because you look at the Clippers too. If the Clippers can put it together, and if they get James Harden too, I think. It's a lot of ifs though. Because if the Lakers stay healthy and stuff, if the Suns can stay healthy, all these teams got injury problems. So
stay healthy because you want to see a good season. You don't want to see anybody hurt, and then what could have been because they wait a whole nother year to start up and get started.
Another year older,
and now they get hurt, and it's just like
if the Clippers could stay healthy. Westbrook plays somewhat close to how he was.
You should start this season better than last year.
Yeah, sure.
But
everybody said
that everybody said that every year about him, and I guess
I think he hasn't had a good fit. The Lakers was a terrible fit.
It was,
and then the Wizards wasn't doing nothing. They just didn't have a good team. But
I would love to see his energy. Was amazing when he got the MVP and the way he was doing triple doubles every other night was just an amazing thing to see. And it brings a different, again, we're talking about Jokic who has no athleticism, and then Russ won his own athleticism. So when you start seeing different reasons why MVPs, if it's Jason Tatum, it's definitely going to be on offense. That would be the main thing that it would be. And if it's on Braun for MVP, it would be for his all around. Should be an interesting season.
Do y'all believe in the Kings at all anymore after the way they came out?
Not this year. I think they can get there. I think they'll.
They could make the playoffs. Maybe
they're gonna be able to do something. They're probably gonna make some moves after this year, and maybe they'll be more appealing for some players to go out there and play with them. But as far as believing in them to go anywhere, nah. that kid shrunk in the Sabonis song, and hopefully that taught him. Hopefully this year he'll get there and he'll show, But big stages for some people,
Or it could
And
have broken.
again, it goes back to you saying, what do you think of people who don't play sports having the heavy commentary? And those stages they are big. Like those guys have to get on those big stages, and they like, yo.
That's what Jared Allen said. We haven't even brought up the Cavs, but that's what Jared Allen said last year. He said the lights was too bright.
They were
literally,
they were,
and
they were,
they went out.
and I think so. You figure that, and that's crazy because we go through 80 games a whole season like that. Just like with baseball, you go.
That's crazy. The baseball, 162 games. You could be out like that in 2 games, season over. It's like
Season over, yeah. That's
I
crazy.
hate baseball format.
I can't stand it.
Silly. Yeah, got any sleeper picks? Team doesn't shake things up. Take a series to 7 games, kind of like the Kings did with the Warriors last year.
I'd like to see my Knicks do that. I'm not talking
God.
the
not
full way.
It's not
But
a
listen, we said a sleeper team. Now wait a minute.
That's not a sleeper. That's just
We're not projected to do anything. I'm talking about somebody. I'm talking about. All right, so let's say say Atlanta. Like what happened with the Hawks? Because they were making a whole lot of noise, and now really nobody brings them up.
I think they got just too far that year. In the 2021, they got to the conference finals, and now it's like, okay, well, now we got to get DeJounte Murray.
Yeah.
But it hasn't hit like that. They traded John Collins, but we'll see now if their front court now could.
Coach, they got rid of the coach.
They got rid of
their
their
mess
coach
down
and
there.
stuff.
Yeah, it is a mess down there.
But I think along with the Pacers, I don't think the Pacers are going to do anything in the playoffs. I think that's more of a regular season thing. But I think the Thunder could come out
That's what I'm
with
looking
Shea
at,
and
the Thunder.
Chet.
Yeah.
Josh Giddey, J-Dub, Jay Williams. I think all of them now, like they're growing together. And like how you said with the Warriors building their team, I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's what they're trying to do. Maybe they make like a couple moves. They could use their picks, not on a superstar, but on those role players that you need to just solidify themselves and get that depth. And you have your star already. I think maybe they could do something to make a move and make a run in the playoffs.
If I lived in OK City, they probably pay about $15 for them tickets to go to the game. It'd be more grandmothers in them stands. I like these people. Tickets that they giving them away. I wish I was down there.
I'm looking forward to the Spurs, the reemergence of, Pop and see what Wemby does. They have
Now, you didn't have nothing to fight for these last few years. Now it's like, now I can coach for real.
Yeah. Now I can coach for real.
Yeah, especially since his wife died. Looked like he was getting ready to walk away from it. But now,
Yeah,
to
Wemby
to
might have
coach that kid,
breathed new
definitely.
life back into Pop.
Definitely. They woke everybody up in that office. And I would like to see him. I would like to see that kid get a ring eventually, But this year it's going to be a little rough on him. He'll get a lot of airplays. But speaking of people who is rough on, what happens with Zion? We don't even mention his name.
I can't
I'm off
get
it.
high.
Yeah, I'm off the train.
Like I'm looking at who I think I could believe in. Like AD has shown me more. That's why I believe maybe he can put it together this year and stuff.
Yeah.
But like someone like Zion, it's like he say the same thing every year. I'm working on my body. I'm been in the gym.
He's still big.
Put
And you
that
out by
weight
January.
back on.
Got
He
more
was looking
signature
good at
shoes
the end of the season, and he
Yeah.
put the weight back on. But he makes me think of somebody that's really not serious about the game.
Yeah.
He has just been blessed with a talent to do this, but there's never been where you got a passion from him. To me, I never connected. Some players you connect with, and you connect with their passion for the game and what they love to do and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've never got that from him. Never.
Yeah.
Even watching him in high school, he was just
There,
the big
The
kid.
biggest
that
Taller than
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
Like, you playing on a mini hoop and
Yeah,
stuff. Like
exactly.
so,
just dunking on
yeah.
everybody's head. It's
No, but I brought his name up because these are teams that was making some noise, and now they're not even in our conversation. So I brought him up.
I mean, if he stays healthy, like you got CJ there, like they could,
Could definitely give you like 30 a night.
Right.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't feel good
Yeah.
about CJ. I think we saw it in the play-in last year. It kind of just wasn't there for him. And Brandon Ingram, like you saw him on Team USA. Just what did he even do? He wasn't even really playing like that.
Yeah.
So I think if they coach, because they got a new coach last year, what is it? If they can't put it together, they fun to watch. They was a top seed when they was healthy. I just can't believe in the health. I think the Timberwolves too has the potential where Anthony Edwards could take that jump. Rudy Gobert. Now they got another year under them. If Cat is healthy, they could. Get some more wins last year. They were like barely snuck into the playoffs. So I think they could do more.
They could be a good sleeper.
Y'all like Cat?
They need Pat Bev back in that
Not
line.
really, but like
That bad. Where is he now? Where you
I think on
landed?
the Sixers.
Yes, he is. He down in Philly, and it's crazy down in Philly with the fans and stuff. So they
fit right in.
Fit right in.
I do believe in Cat. I think he could play. I think he needs to be. I think he could use a change of scenery too.
You take him in New York? You take him in New York?
Take him.
Oh, yeah.
Look.
Oh, my goodness.
Take anybody.
He would take him. Although I like Mitchell Robinson, he put some weight on. You know, I like him. I like his defensive, the way he blocks shots and he gets about the boards and stuff. I like him. But yeah, Karl Anthony Towns to me has again, when you start naming some of these players, they just to me haven't been put in a good situation. You know, we'll see what Bradley Beal does now. He's supposedly in a good situation. So we'll see what they do. But I do believe, I think Cat is dope.
I could see it now if Ant takes that jump, because now that makes Cat. He doesn't have to be the number one. Now he can kind of his role gets a little easier on offense and stuff. Yeah. It's the defense really that was the problem for him. That's always been a problem for Cat because he's a big man, but he can't guard bigs. But the way he plays now, he'll be on the perimeter, can't do nothing out there. It's just and it gets a little tricky with them. So
yeah. All right. Anything burning you guys?
I think we.
Anything on your
covered.
mind? Something that disgusts you? Something that excites you? Something that gets your gears grinding?
I just want everybody to stay
Blood
healthy
boiling.
and that because we get excited. We do as basketball heads. We get excited about the season starting, and when guys get hurt and stuff, man, just like.
Are you
to
guys
see it
excited about the season, or is just like
I'm so excited.
No, I'm excited.
I'm hoping there's more
excited.
high scoring games. You know, Damon, Donovan had 70. Hopefully, we can see that again this year.
Yeah. No, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm looking at my everything. I'm also high on the Orlando Magic with Paulo and Franz. Listen, I'm high on these young guys. Listen, I think Paulo, he looked good in Team USA. I think I was watching him some in preseason. I think now he's looking better as a playmaker for his size. I mean, I think I don't want to put like no high expectations, but look a little like LeBron the way he's just driving now, and he's big, he's built, and he's just driving down and he's playmaking too. I think Franz could really, both of them could take that jump kind of. Not like this year, but like just in the future, like the way we see Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, both stars and young. I think that's something they can get.
I think like what Uncle Pete was saying, where it really matters, like the situation that these young guys end up in, because it's like you could have that talent somewhere that's really fostering that, somewhere like a San Antonio where
Houston
you have like
can't
the
really
good,
been able to.
You got to have like the good management, the good team structure. It's like it seemed like Orlando and some of these other teams is just like go out there and play, and it's like. How you developing in that? You know what I mean? But I like Paulo. He's
and Marquette Fultz too.
Yeah,
but they're not basketball cities though. Like there's demands on certain cities to be good because they are cities of champions. Boston, L.A., New York, not just big market, but there's a just a hunger from the fans in Orlando. It's Oklahoma City. If Oklahoma City tickets are 15, Orlando's 20 top.
Yeah. It's like, how much do you want me to care? You know what I mean? It's like.
So they kind of fall off the radar. If they ever could get a Penny and Shaq again, we got to do a nostalgia one to talk about Penny Hardaway. He was amazing.
Penny.
Amazing.
Anthony Hardaway. Yeah.
Damon Stoudemire, guys like that.
That's what's burning on your heart, the older guys.
It's a cheap shot now. We get ready to wrap. You take a cheap shot at me now.
How y'all
You
feel
left
about
it hanging the whole
How y'all
time.
feel about the Hornets? The studio label.
You don't even want to talk about it. There's so much going on.
It's
It's like,
It's so bad. Mike
It's
got
a
out of there at
mess.
the right time. Mike
a
saw the
mess.
smoke coming from under the hood, and he left before that fire came because they got a lot going on with dude down there acting a fool and stuff. Yeah.
Kai Jones.
And then they brought back what's
first
his
ever
name?
CTE in NBA.
What's their coach he brought back?
Steve Clifford.
Yeah.
Like
It's like I just feel bad for the fans because like, how you even supposed to support this now?
Right.
It's like every day someone come out.
Right.
What was the one guy who got the? I think I saw they suspended James Bouknight because he got a DUI and stuff.
Yeah.
The thing with Miles Bridges, Kai Jones, Brandon Miller. Yeah, they investigating him still. I thought that was past him, but no, they still investigating him
wow.
and all that stuff going on. It's just you hope for something, but it's hard.
Free LaMelo.
Free Mello. All right. Y'all good?
I'm good. It was a good conversation. Good guys.
All right.